不要碰！你的修为驾驭不了他，可能会被吞噬。不好，丰都神邪们都被惊动了。
小子，你总算回来了。
那个禁区就是无忧乡吗？那里很是凶险。
你是无忧乡的人，你来做什么？
死者生界的规则也无法左右的，那是怎样恐怖的一种力量。
In the new episode, Dutian Devil King heard what Qinmu said and was slightly stunned, then instantly understood what he was saying. The restricted area wasn't meant to keep enemies out, but to trap the villagers forever. His thoughts raced. The ones who taught this brat are definitely absolute villains that are incomparably cunning. Watching Qinmu remain calm only deepened his unease. As the moon ship trembled and finally stopped, Dutian Devil King let out a breath of relief. Even after witnessing the destruction of Carefree Village, Qinmu still had his rationality, something that shocked him. He kicked the Dragonkillen awake. Iron Lump, where are we? Dragonkillen asked. Annoyed, he snapped. You slept all the way and still have the face to ask me? The Dragonkillen chuckled back. You also don't know where we are? Apparently you have also slept all the way. Ignoring them, Qinmu steadied himself despite his weakened state, and said firmly, Devil King, Fatty Dragon, let's enter this restricted area. When Dutian Devil King questioned him, Qinmu replied calmly, You are the Devil King of Dutian World, only you can bring me in. Though he laughed arrogantly at first, he quickly corrected himself and agreed, warning, You must keep close to me and not take the wrong path. If you trigger the restricted area, we'll all die. Qinmu coldly reminded him, Devil King, don't try to play any tricks, or you will be trapped as well. As they stepped into the forbidden zone, Dutian Devil King's four faces calculated every step, muttering complex formulas. Qinmu couldn't help but admire him, saying, Devil King, your attainments in algebra are extremely high. The reply came sharply, You don't say. If you don't learn your algebra properly, you will only know the form of most of the divine arts, but not their essence. Qinmu's curiosity sparked instantly. Can you teach me? I have a canon of supreme mystery, which I still have yet to study thoroughly. Canon of Supreme Mystery uses octal number system, which is quite thorny. Dutian Devil King said in astonishment, Octal number system? If you use numbers to calculate 8 trigrams, it would be quite troublesome to calculate. But if you use the 8 trigrams as an abacus to operate the transformation, that would be much easier. We'll talk later, don't talk to me now. If I calculate wrongly, we are all finished. Even so, that brief exchange enlightened Qinmu, his mind racing with insights from the Canon of Supreme Mystery. So, that's how the calculation in Canon of Supreme Mystery works. Qinmu looked at the transformation diagram and muttered as numbers formed in his mind, until he was abruptly scolded, Don't be distracted. Pressing forward, they reached the first ruin, a quiet village of only 4 households. Dutian Devil King confirmed, This place is safe. But Qinmu's heart shook as he discovered a cradle, a wooden horse, and delicate baby clothes embroidered with the word Qin. Holding his jade pendant, he whispered inwardly, Is this my home? The faded she character on the door told a silent story of love and a family that once existed. Before he could linger, Dutian Devil King urged, It's time to go. Once this is done, I'll be returning. I don't want to stay another day in your goddamn world. They continued through more ruins, towns filled with graves, a once bustling city now scattered with broken spirit weapons, each step revealing the tragic fall of Carefree Village. Let's continue, Qinmu said solemnly. Finally, as the tension reached its peak, a furious voice echoed in the distance. We're so dead, you old geezers, you even got this old woman fall for it and die alongside you. At the end of the forest, Blind's expression became solemn. He propped himself on his cane to rest, while Butcher swung his knives. Around them was a layered space that kept changing in a peculiar way. The chaotic space twists like a divine dice as Blind, Butcher, and Granny Seas struggle within its ever-changing layers. Forests turning to deserts, oceans to starry skies in an instant. Each shift triggers deadly divine restrictions, forcing Butcher to fight endlessly while complaining, Blind, Granny, my waist is about to break. Have you two finished resting? Blind calmly replies, I'm old and my bones aren't like before. Let me rest a while more. Butcher snaps back, I ain't much younger than you. While Blind casually throws the burden, Granny is still young, let her take over. But Granny C's condition worsens as Li Tianxing's voice emerges. Even though I'm very strong, my wife's body can't withstand it anymore. Wife, let me take over your body. Only to be shut down with, scram. As the starry restriction activates, divine light rains down, and Butcher roars into action. Granny C calls out desperately, Deaf, come here quickly. But Blind reminds her, Deaf can't hear your voice. Butcher, rest for a while, it's my turn. Li Tianxing's voice said from Granny C's mouth. Soon, the space shifts again into raging volcanoes. Blind stood up, and his god-mind's eyes were as penetrating as a mirror as he looked in all directions. Our bodies are in the dice of a god. Old Ma and Cripple are on another side, but they still land in the same side sometimes. Suddenly, Li Tianxing spoke from Granny's mouth. How much longer until this restriction crumbles by itself? Blind calmly calculates. 24,000 years. Immediately, Butcher explodes. Shut up, Blind. Just when hope seems lost, a voice echoes from outside. Brat, your elders are trapped inside, there are 6 of them. Blind becomes nervous and instantly warns, Moor, don't come in, you don't have the power to withstand the divine restrictions. But Qin Mu calmly asks, Devil King, do you have a way to save them? Devil King analyzes the formation and explains the flaw. This space restrictions use a secret technique of space matrix to layer 109 spaces, separating them into 108 sections. The god that laid down this secret technique of space matrix should have taken the easy way out, and not calculated all the way to the smallest possible decimal, which was why some flaws were left. His voice came again. Do you have some treasure you don't use? Something that's quite solid, so I can throw it into the 109th space, into the operating gears, automatically jamming them. This formation would then be naturally solved. Qin Mu responds, I picked this up in Roland's Golden Palace. Is it useful? Du Tian said, this treasure isn't bad. For you to pick up this kind of treasure, you sure are lucky. No wonder I couldn't trick you. Your luck is heaven-defying, so it's not me that's incapable. As the luminous pearl is thrown in, the entire restriction collapses violently. One by one, the elders crash back into reality, injured, but alive. Qin Mu shakes his head in disappointment. So old, yet can't spare people from worrying. While chaos continues, as Death falls from the sky yelling, Cripple, move away, and slams into him. Granny C rushes forward. Muir, why are you here? How dare you barge into such a dangerous place? You're too gutsy. Are you hurt anywhere? While Blind warns, Granny, stay farther away from him. Blind went up, slightly nervous as he looked at Qin Mu. She's sometimes male and sometimes female. Be careful of her laying her hands on you. The group gathers, bickering as always. Cripple asks, Muir, your iron lump sure is useful. What's his name again? Old Ma said, Du Tian Devil King. And Butcher questions, where did you get him? While Death bluntly comments, so ugly. Du Tian Devil King became furious and wanted to blow up, but Qin Mu swiftly interrupted. This is Du Tian Devil King, the supreme ruler of Du Tian world, which I have invited to save all of you. Where's village chief? Qin Mu asked. As well as Grandpa Apothecary and Grandpa Mute, did they reach this place? Blind shook his head. I saw traces of Apothecary and village chief, but I didn't see Mute. The other people nodded silently. Granny C said, Muir, this place is so dangerous, yet you still had to find your way here. You've had it hard. Qin Mu finally snaps. All of you wandered off, instead of coming back home for New Year's. If you got lost, what could I do but come and find you? And orders. Devil King, you shall lead the way, and you all, stop wandering off. The elders obediently nod. N. At the edge of the forest, the group finally reaches the end of the path, following Du Tian Devil King, who walks proudly ahead, guiding the old, weak, sick, and disabled elders. There are many able-bodied people in the village, so why is it called Disabled Elderly Village? He thought to himself. Yet beneath this label lies a deeper truth. These elders are not truly broken in body, but in heart. Each of them carries a past that cannot escape, a burden heavier than any injury. As they approach the cliff, Granny C softly says, It's New Year's Eve. Only for Old Ma to respond. It's not considered New Year's until all the people of the village are present. Butcher's voice roars with determination. We must find village chief, Mute, and Apothecary, see their bodies. Even if they're dead, we'll drag them back for New Year's. Standing at the edge, Qin Mu is stunned to see another forest growing perpendicular to the cliff. Du Tian Devil King calmly jumps down and explains, the seal here is much more complicated than what I thought. As Qin Mu steps forward, he realizes the entire space is warped. Forests exist in every direction, forming a massive cube-like world, sealing Carefree Village within. Even Blind senses the gravity of it, saying, this great divine art is no small matter. Countless seals, just to prevent the people of Carefree Village from walking out. Granny C also walked over and raised her head to look, while Du Tian Devil King admits, the god that left behind this seal is too strong. not something that you guys can handle. If anyone tried to fly into Carefree Village, they are most likely dead. As they observe the ruins floating in the distance, a shocking realization dawns on them. Blind suddenly says, "Don't you guys think that the shape of Carefree Village looks like a ship?" The others quickly piece it together. Cripple excitedly points out, "This sun should be the source of energy for this ship." While Old Ma adds, "Ships are used for ferrying passengers," and Death questions deeply, "If it's not Carefree Village is carefree, so why does it need a destination? With a destination, it won't be Carefree Village anymore. If it's not Carefree Village, what's its destination?" In unison, they arrive at a mind-shaking conclusion: the true Carefree Village. Qin Mu is left completely stunned, questioning everything about his origins. If Carefree Village is not here, where's the true Carefree Village? Qin Mu is at a loss. Where exactly is my hometown? Did any of my clansmen survive? And at this moment, a silver light flashed across the sky. A silver boat flew out from the city, and the silver boat descends, skillfully avoiding all restrictions. Even Dutian Devil King is shocked by the flawless path. As Mute and the others land safely, everyone rushes forward. Everyone was about to say something when Village Chief floats over and smiles warmly. "Muir, let me tell you a piece of good news. We have finally found your surname." Apothecary then presents several items, each marked with the same word, Qin, and says your surname is Qin. Look at the handwriting on them. Doesn't it look like the handwriting on your jade pendant? Qin Mu's mind trembles as hope reignites within him. Village Chief gently reassures him, "There is still a chance that your parents are alive." Qin Mu returns to the small, silent village, his heart restless as he re-examines the clues he once overlooked. Walking into the house with the faded she character, he carefully picks up the baby clothes, stitched with the word Qin. This time, he forces himself to stay calm, and finally notices the difference. The Qin on the cloth isn't the same as the one on his jade pendant. While the others gather around Village Chief, asking about the dangers inside the ruined ship. "It was too dangerous inside, and we didn't delve deeper. We only went around the outskirts. Had almost died. Luckily, Mute was here. Therefore we could safely retreat," Village Chief admits. Qin Mu quietly processes the truth. Outside, everyone bombards Mute with questions about how he found the safe path, but Mute only smiles and replies with soft, ah, leaving even Death unable to translate. Granny C gets annoyed. "This Mute don't want to say anything," she said angrily. "You'll stifle to death sooner or later." Yet no one gets an answer. Meanwhile, life returns briefly to normal. The dragon Killin clings to the young patriarch, who complains, "You're getting too fat," and warns, "Don't think of jumping into my arms. I can't carry you now. Go away." Even in such tension, their familiar banter brings warmth. Soon, Granny C urges, "It's time to go," and insists they return home to celebrate New Year. Even joking, "Patriarch, that plump pig that you had raised can finally be slaughtered to eat," which makes the young patriarch panic. "You dare? What a huge ship!" Everyone came to the front of Moonship and couldn't help being astonished. Cripple planned to steal this ship away, and got scolded by Granny C. "Damn Cripple, even if you can steal it, where are you gonna park it? I'll break your leg if you place it in the village." "Let's go. Let's return to the village for New Year," Village Chief said calmly. They finally leave the mysterious sealed world behind, stepping back into the snowy great ruins. By the next evening, they return to their home, disabled elderly village, and celebrate together at last. Laughter, food, and warmth fill the air as they decorate the village, paste couplets, and share a long-awaited New Year's feast. But peace doesn't last forever. The next morning, the young patriarch departs, while Qin Mu fulfills his promise to Dutian Devil King. Dutian Devil King looked at Qin Mu and said, "Devil Cult Master, it's time to keep your promise." Qin Mu said warmly, "Devil King, don't worry. I shall remove these sealing runes on your body, and you'll be able to regain your freedom." As the seal is removed, the Devil King warns, "Let us never meet again," before disappearing into the void. Yet Qin Mu only smiles. Who can tell what will happen in the future? Just when things seem to settle, Village Chief calls Qin Mu. "Muir, come over." Qin Mu hurried over, and Village Chief hesitated for a moment. "There is still something I have to tell you. Other than the numerous Qin word I have found on that ship, I had also found something else. Apothecary, bring that thing over." Apothecary hesitated. "Is it suitable to give it to him now?" Village Chief shook his head. "I don't have much long to live, and if I don't give it to him, when should I give it to him?" He hands him a sealed mirror and says, "Inside this mirror is a geographical map which leads to Carefree Village. Only when you can break my seal, you can see the route." Qin Mu silently kneels. Village Chief immediately said, "Get up. There's one more thing. Suddenly I feel that there are quite a number of weights on your shoulder. The young cult master of Heavenly Devil Cult, the orphan of Carefree Village. Maybe it won't be much if you take on my responsibility as well. Today, I shall take you in as my disciple, and hand over my responsibility to you. Village Chief finally declares, from today onwards, you will be the next generation's human emperor. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more videos.